Welcome to day 9 of the 30-day coding challenge. Today we're going to be building this intro section with a drop-down menu. If you're new here, hi, my name's Zoe. I'm a software engineer and former university professor that loves teaching folks how to code. If you're interested in starting a career in front-end development, feel free to check out that first link in the description below. But without further ado, let's hop into the challenge. Alright, so as you can see, it's just a really simple intro, landing page situation that we have going on here. But then the thing that we're going to make it different with is just these drop down menus here. So let's work through how we're going to add that to our project and build that out pretty quickly. Alright, so I've gone ahead and already started up the app, and as I said, I use the starter that I have available on my my GitHub. It's the Material UI Next.js TypeScript app starter. Again, if you don't want to use it, don't have to. You can start from whatever scratch you want to start. And if you want to use JavaScript, you can totally do that as well. The only thing that's going to be different is the typing that I do in my code. So if you want to use this, feel free. I'll link it down below as well, and I'll also link the actual design. This is one of the free designs from Front End Mentor. I'll link that down below as well. So yeah, getting started with the files here. I'm just going to go ahead and remove a lot of the reset files I added in here just so we can have a clean slate. And I'm going to go ahead and set the background color because I think, yeah, this is the page color. So I'm just going to go ahead and set that, and then we should be good to go. Okay, awesome, looking good. I'll close these two out and we'll go to our main page. So we have our home page here. So what I'm thinking is that we need a nav, and then the hero, and then this image on the side here. And this is like the other, I guess, teams that they were working with. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder called components. And then within that, I'm going to create a new file called nav.tsx. Cool. And this is where the bulk of our work is going to be, in this nav. So we'll go ahead and import it into our main app page here. And let's get started. All right, so we need the snap, features, company, careers, about, login, and register. Okay, let's see. I already went ahead and dropped in the images from the from downloading the assets from Front End Mentor, so you can definitely use those again if you want to use these exact files. So I think what I'm going to want to do here is see if they have, yeah, they have a logo. So let's use that and see what it gives us. So I'm going to start with the box prop from Material UI, or the box component, excuse me. Save that. And then now within this, we're going to start with the logo. So we'll use an image component. And the source, I'm just going to go ahead and grab the relative path. Let's grab the relative path for that and drop that in there. Alt is going to be logo. And then height and width, what is it, 87 by 35. All right, so width 35, height 87, oops, and that is going to be the first thing on the page. Okay, cool, so we're seeing it there. I think, actually, I probably got that backwards. It should be 87 by 35. That makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, there we go, that looks good. All right, cool, so we have our first piece there. What's next? I think we need some typography elements, maybe wrapped in a button. Let's see. So we have features, company, careers, and about. So let's go ahead and start with typography elements for those. Yeah, features, company, career, oops, and about. No, careers. And that should be that set. And so what I'm actually going to do is wrap these first 5 elements in a box so that they're kind of like off to one side. And then I'm going to do the last 2 in another box so that those, we can easily separate them to the other side. So we're going to have login. And then register is going to be a button. So we'll say, we'll import button and register. Cool. Just fix up the imports here. Cool, looking good. Awesome. Awesome, so we have all of that laid out. Let's go ahead and style up this box a little bit better. So we'll turn it into a flex box, first of all, so that everything falls into one line, and then we'll turn these into flex boxes as well. And save that. Okay, awesome, looking good. And then I'm gonna wanna, as I said, separate these two. So I'll say justify content is gonna be space between, and let's say width 100%. Or did I put it? Oh, sorry, I put it on the wrong item. I need to put it up here. There we go, perfect. And then we want to align, align items to the center. Same thing over here, we want to align items to the center. Oops, there we go. Okay, awesome, looking pretty good. What else? I think the next thing we need to do is, let's see how it looks. Okay, so there is a little arrow. So actually that's something I'm gonna want to add into the typography. So basically on click, if it's open, we want the arrow to point up. If it's closed, we want the arrow to point down, suggesting that there's more content that we want to add there. So we can do that. Let's start by, how should we do this? I'm wondering if we should add a button or just, let's start by, actually I'm going to turn this into a client component to start with. Use client, and then I'm going to say const is open, comma set is open, use state, and false. Okay, so then on click, set is open to be the opposite of is open. And then here now we want to have is open. If yes, we want it to point up. If no, we want it to point down. Let's see if that works. Okay, cool, working so far. We're gonna copy that over to here and see what happens. Okay, so now they move together, well, that actually is not what we want. So I think actually what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a separate component for that. So we'll say new file, drop down menu item. And I'm going to copy this over here. I'm just going to move the state into the actual, the handling of the state into this smaller component. So we're gonna remove all of that. Remove all of that and take out all of that. Okay, and the first one is features, yeah. So we'll go ahead and import this from React, and we're gonna turn this into a client component. I'll say drop down menu item. It's going to be label. I'm going to say label is a string, props, and then label will be here. Label. Great. And then we're going to bring this back into here. I'm going to say drop down menu item. I think it's going to take more than that. I think we're going to end up passing in the next items that are in that drop down, but we'll get there in a second. So we'll say features. Oops. Features. Okay, cool. So we have drop down menu item features, and we're going to do a second one, drop down menu item company. And that way, now we'll get rid of these two. When we click, it clicks independently. So that's the first step there, just to make sure that everything is working as expected. So first, that's the first thing. I think the next thing we can do, we can actually fix up the styles a little bit. We'll say margin right of what? 1 rem. Or better way to do this would be line item center, justify content space between, and then set a width to be 45 view width. There we go. So now they're all just evenly spaced around, which is what we wanted. Actually, maybe not even as much as 45. Maybe we could get away with like 35 view width. Cool. Looking pretty good. So yeah, we have those. The other thing that I'm noticing is there's like a slight container. There's like there are two containers. Like there's this outer container and then there's an inner container. So I think what I'm going to do is wrap everything in a container, turn this box into a container. And then set the max width to extra large. And then I'll put another container in lower end. Yeah, so that just gives it a little bit of padding there. And I'll add 2 rem of padding, margin to the top, margin top, 2 rem. Cool, looking pretty good. The other thing I want to do with these two, similar thing, I want to justify content, space between, and then I want to set the width to be like 10 view width, maybe 20, maybe 15. All right, cool. Cool, looks good. All right, so the next thing we want to do now is to actually implement that drop down. So when you click open, it actually shows the drop down menu. So for this drop down menu, I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up wrapping this in a box or maybe an empty element. Box is not defined. We should define box. Okay, and then within the box now, we're going to have the drop-down menu. Down menu.tsx. And what this is going to be is this thing right here, this like list of whatever the things are. So to-do list, calendar, etc., etc., etc. And so really all this is it's a box. And then it's going to take in menu items. Menu items. And menu items should be an array of menu items. Type menu item. It's an object with possibly what is it called? Possibly an icon. And then definitely label. Oops, I don't actually need that. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Oh, props. There we go. Okay, cool. So then, yeah, we're gonna take in menu items and there we go. So for the menu items, so for the box, let's start with the box. So the box is going to be box with border radius 10 pixels, and then the color of the box is going to be white, so background color, I should say, background color is going to be white. Cool. And then there's like a box. Drop shadow. 0, 10, 40, 0, 0, 0. Let me look it up. Yeah. Okay. And then we are going to map through the menu items. Menu items dot map. For each item, we want to return a typography element. A typography element with item dot label, and possibly also item dot icon. Or no, we want probably an image. Yeah, we would want an image. So we'd want image from next image with source equals item dot icon, and alt equals icon height equals 16, width equals 16. We'll go with that for now. And then, oh yeah, it's missing a key prop, so we'll say key is item dot label. Lovely. Label. Cool. Source item dot icon. And we'll say if item dot icon. So if it exists, show this. If not, just show the label. And so then now let's go ahead and define some of our data. So we'll say const menu items equals icon. Let's just do one icon to do. And label is to-do list. I will say menu items equals, oops, menu items. Save that. Okay. And this is actually, I'm gonna have to actually lift this up, but for now we'll show that. So we'll say if is open is true, show the drop-down menu. Cool. So that works. Does do that little shift, which is not great, but other than that, it's working. And it shows the same right now for both, but that's not what we want to do. All right, so I'm going to move the menu items. I'm going to hoist it up to here. And how are we going to do this? Let's say const drop down menu item equals, so we'll say menu label is going to be features, and then menu items is going to be this array of menu items. And so then we'll do the same thing for company. And we'll just change up the menu item. So let's add in a couple more for this. Let's say, oops, 2, oops, 3, 4. And we'll say calendar. And we'll say reminders and planning. And then for company, it's going to be history, our team, and blog with no icons. History, our team, and blog. We'll save that. And then drop-down menu items, we're going to map through these. We're going to return drop down menu item, and then we're going to pass in two things. We're going to say label equals drop down menu item dot menu label. Is that? Yep, that's right. And then we'll say menu items is equal to drop down menu item dot menu items. And we're going to take that in here. So say label and menu items, which is an array of menu items. Oops. Let's see. Missing a key prop, right? So key equals label dot menu label, sorry. And then this, cannot find any menu items. Oh, items. Okay, cool. So that looks like it's working. Let's take a look at it now. Menu items is not defined. Hold on. Okay, cool, awesome. So we're seeing what we want to see now. We do have to work on the positioning, but other than that, it's looking pretty decent. All right, so let's work on the style a little bit in the positioning. So let's say for the menu itself, we have all of that. Let's add in some padding. 1.5 rem all around. And then between the items, actually, let's do it like this. Good, and then we'll say good. All right, looking good. Awesome. So we have that. Oh yeah, we need to set the position to be relative. Or should we set it to be absolute? Okay, that looks good. Yep, position absolute. And I think we might need to add a little bit more. Oh, it like left align the first one and right align the second. I think that's okay. I think what we can do is just add a little bit more space here. Yeah, that looks good. And you shouldn't really have both open at the same time. I don't think that's good practice. All right, so we have the menu items. We have that, we have that. So that part is pretty much set. I think we're good to go on that. The next bit we can work on is this main section here. So let's just finish up the hero, etc. So we'll say, let's go ahead and create a hero section. Let's see, new file, hero.tsx. And we'll say it's a box. And then make remote work. Make this into typography element. Save that. That typography, and then we'll grab this one, typography, say button, save that, and say learn more, lowercase m. And then, so I think we'll do, I called it the hero, but we could do like one section, one side is this, and then all of these little company logos. So we'll do a box at the bottom here, and then we're gonna do all the company logos. So we'll say image from next image, source equals, let's see, data biz. Alt equals company logo, height, and then we'll do 4 of these, save that. Display flex, save that, and that'll be the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side, we'll just have the image, the other image, which is image hero desktop, which is alt equals user with laptop, and we'll say the height 640, width 480, 640, width 480. We'll save that. Okay, and then we'll drop the hero onto the page. Oh, and we also need to put a container around the hero. So we'll actually just turn this into a container. Okay. We'll say max width equals, let's say large for this one. Might be medium, but we'll say. All right, good to go. Looking pretty decent. This one we need to turn into a flex box. Flex. I think I might have put the boxes. Let me check. So we have this. Oh yeah, no, that's wrong. This one we need to turn to a flex box. The other one we also still need to turn to a flex box, but this one is the one that I was thinking we need to turn to a flex box. There we go. Yeah, so that pops over to the right side there. Awesome. And then we'll say align items to the center. Perfect, looking good. And then we can also say, I think I'm gonna add the margin to the to this. So we'll say 67-ish. We'll say margin bottom. Say margin bottom. About 4M. Cool, that looks good. All right, go back to the hero now. And let's just finish the styling here. So make remote work. This is a large heading, 80, all right. 80 pixels. And again, you can do this in the styles folder if you want. Like you can customize the theme if you want to do it like that instead of sit in H1. But I'm not going to do that for this just because it's a lot more setup than it's worth for just a singular component. Font size or font weight, sorry. It's going to be 600. And then line height. Okay, cool. Make remote work. Awesome. And then for the second section here, get your team in sync. We are looking at the body, which is going to be 18. So I'll say looks good. And then I'm just going to add in a couple of breaks here. And this is just a trick. If you know that you want it to break at certain points, you could do this. There are better ways to do it as well, but just an option if you want to use it. And then we're going to say for these two, justify content is going to be space between. We'll save that. Good. And then for the last piece here, we have these two buttons. Now we have really similar buttons, so I think we can just create one custom button. So we'll say new file, custom button.tsx. And then the button is going to use, let's use the button component from Material UI. Import that, call it button, save that. We'll say border 1 pixel solid. What color is it? Is it close to black? That, and then color is going to be that. And then it's going to take the label and interface props. Label is going to be a string. I'm going to say props. And then we're going to say the string label, save that. And then border radius, 15 pixels. Cool. And what else? Oh, background color. Color. No. And I think we can use that now instead. So let's go to our hero and we're going to change this button from button to custom button. And it's going to pass in label equals learn more. Okay, looking pretty good. Could probably add a little bit more padding there. And some font weight. Font weight 600, padding 5 rem, 1 rem. A little better. And then I just want to fix up this little bottom section here. So at the bottom of the here we have data biz. I think the next one's supposed to be audio file. Meet. and maker. And right now, oh, they already are all in order. I think they're all at different sizes though. 73, I think I saw there. And maybe 30. Meet. Maker. Cool, looks good. And we'll say justify content space between. Save that, and then we'll say margin top 108 pixels. Save that, looks good. And then now for this description, 51, 48, it's about the same. We're gonna say margin 50 pixels and 0 on left and right. Awesome. Last thing to do, hop over back to our nav, and we're going to change this button to a custom button. Label is going to be register, and we'll just get rid of the rest of that. Make sure imports. And there we go. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much our intro section with the drop-down menus. As you see, when you click on it, it pops down. We have our drop-down menu. Click on it again and it goes away. Same thing for that one. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like. If you want to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe. And if you want to see the rest of the videos in this challenge, I'll leave a link to the playlist up here so you can check them out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.